Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Brandon, let's do a quick version of some local sports here, because I know you've been doing a lot with CRBL, and they had the All-Star game.
Yeah, they had the All-Star game last weekend
in
Jim Falls. The South picked up a 2-0 win. There were, I think, 4 games Wednesday night. So CRBL, second half of the year, and the rest of the month is going to be all kind of jockeying for position to get into the postseason. Then they'll have their semifinals and championship game that first week of August.
Okay.
Then you've also got the WBA tournament coming up, Wisconsin Baseball Association. That's next month, and actually that's got a little bit different setup this time. There's actually 2 divisions for it, so kind of basically the A divisions for the larger areas, smaller ones in the B. So we'll see how that flashes out. Last year, Tilden won the state championship. That was when it was still just one state championship. So. But yeah, that's kind of getting down to it. There's a few games this weekend, but going to be a lot of games coming up here.
Anything kind of on the prep scene right now? With I know there's some basketball stuff, tournaments.
Yeah,
camps,
there's always that summer stuff. I would say Legion baseball is kind of you're kind of getting down the stretch here. With regionals are coming up in a couple weeks. So
okay. Already regionals for that too. Jeez.
Legion baseball season's so fast.
Yeah.
It starts early to mid part of June, and the regionals are, I believe, a week from not next week, but the week after. I know Chippewa Falls and Eau Claire are both playing up in Superior. So
okay. And
then you take your regional champions, and this year the state tournament's down in Wisconsin Rapids. So yeah, that's coming up here. So you got teams kind of getting into, I'm sure maybe some more tournaments here this weekend or next weekend, some other games. It's very much kind of a grab bag of, play games when you can, when Mother Nature allows, especially this year. But, yeah, that's kind of coming to a head as well.
When does football practice begin?
The first day of football will be the 6th?
August 6th?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's that first Tuesday of August.
Okay.
So the Tuesday after the Casper Classic. And that's for 11-man teams. They'll get going, and then the next week will be 8-man teams, and you get the other sports. They'll start getting going then as well. Less
than a month.
Yeah.
Less than a month.
Yeah, I've been talking with various football coaches for my conference realignment series, and yeah, it's interesting because now you're starting to get some of these teams that are doing their contact days, where basically it's a day, days during the summer you can kind of get together, you can kind of practice, but not really. Usually they take them as more lighter things, but you've got a lot of those coming up. Some are doing them this week, but a lot of them like to do them once it gets a little later in July, just so it's a little bit closer to the season. So there's maybe a little bit better retention on some of the stuff you're dishing out to the kids. So, but yeah, we're not that far away.
It's a good series. You can check it out at Chippewa.com there too. Especially, I know you had teased it a little bit last time we chatted with you too, but with the Memorial and North one on there. So
my first 2 in the series, the Big Rivers and the Clover Belt. This week will be the Lakeland, which has got some turnover with Cadott, Tech Weyerhaeuser, and Cameron jumping into that conference. That's a conference that's had as much turnover as anybody. I had looked it up. I think it was 2011. Which was the last year before 8-man returned full-time in Wisconsin. There were 24 total teams across 3 different divisions classified as the Lakeland. There's the Large Lakeland, the Small Lakeland, and the South Lakeland. Now there are like 7 or 8. And there's only 3 teams that have been in that conference the entire time. That is Grantsburg, Webster, and Unity. So I got a chance to talk with some different coaches in some different spots from that league. I talked with Cadott, who's jumping into the league for the first time. I talked to Cameron, who's coming back into the league after being in the Heart of North for a few years. And I talked with Grantsburg, who's been there the whole time. So it's kind of interesting to get those different perspectives on how that's going to work and how they're. Above all else, like a lot of conferences, they're just looking for hoping to get some consistency because. That's how you build rapport with other coaches. That's how you build some rivalries, that kind of thing. It's just it can be tough when every other year it's kind of you're reshuffling the deck, so to speak. So,
right.
But I've got some ones coming up. Heart of North will be coming up next week, and then I'll be jumping into 8-man. There's some new conferences there now with another round of some new teams there and how that shuffles out. So yeah, that'll be taking me through the rest of the month here until we get to August, and then everything's going again.
Yeah. Express-wise, the Eau Claire Express dropping both games yesterday with their doubleheader against Duluth. First game 7-11. Then their nightcap getting blanked 5-0. They will be on the road for the next few days here. They're going to be at Duluth tonight, and then tomorrow. Then they're against Waterloo for 3 games, a doubleheader on Sunday, and we'll be going up against Waterloo again on Monday. Then Waterloo comes over here for a couple games starting next week too. So, as the second half for the Express season is underway for the Northwoods League too. So,